So Liam Rosenior was asked if Joao Pedro is in the bracket of Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, and he said yes. And a lot of people, have a lot of negative things to talk about his position on this matter. For me, I would say he is a manager of Joao Pedro and he believes his player is in the same bracket with that player. You cannot, you know, um, dispute what the manager has said about his player. You don't expect him to say less of his player. But then let's look at the numbers. I would take Erling Haaland for an example. In the 2022-2023 season, Erling Haaland scored 36 goals with 8 assists. In 2023-2024 season, he scored about 27 goals with 5 assists. In the 2024-2025 season, he scored 22 goals with, I think, 3 assists or thereabout. And in this 2025-2026 season, Erling Haaland has scored 22 goals and about 5 assists. Now, if you look at the goal ratio, if you look at the production of goals from Erling Haaland, you discover that it is reducing. Scored 36 with 8 assists. He went down to 27 with 5 assists. It also went down again to 22 with about 3 assists. And it is now on 22 and the season is almost ending with 5 assists. What do you make of this? In your first season, if you are a top striker, the defenders in the English Premier League will use that season to, understand you, study your game, read you, understand a lot of things about you. In the second season, they will deal with you. And if you are not prolific, if you are not a strong, striker, you may find it very difficult to handle them. You may find it very difficult to score goals because they will so cage you, they will limit your chances, they will do everything within their power to ensure that you don't get what you want to get. You don't achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Now, this is the English Premier League for you. And if you look at Joao Pedro, he has scored 14 goals this season. I think he has about 5 assists or 7 assists thereabouts. You wouldn't blame him that much because during the time of um Enzo Maresca, Enzo Maresca plays Joao Pedro as a number 10. Most times you see him playing as a number 10, you see him dropping deep into his own half, trying to pick the ball at great chances, and he doesn't have the opportunity to immediately, effect changes as in the respect of getting goals for his team because he's always playing as a false nine or as a number 10, and you always see him dropping deep, picking the balls, playing how Kopama ought to play. Kopama ought to come back, link play with the defenders, the midfielders, and the strikers. And then you discover that Joao Pedro is coming back to do that thing that the midfielders are supposed to do, and it limits his chances of getting goals. That is one thing you must understand. It limits his chances of getting goals. Now, what happened? What were the changes that transpired or that occurred when Liam Rosenior came in? He now became a traditional number 9. He now went into the number 9 position fully, and then you begin to see him in goal scoring opportunities, places where he can immediately make changes, he can immediately get a goal, he can immediately strike the ball. That is where you now begin to find, Joao Pedro. And that is why you see him producing goals upon goals upon goals. You see him in places where he can get chances and he can score goals. You see in places where he receives the ball, he is already facing, the goalpost. And that is where you can see Joao Pedro perform. And that is how other strikers perform. They are always in that 18-yard box. They are always in that position where once you give them the ball, they can be able to strike and get a goal. But previously, Joao Pedro didn't have that opportunity, and that limited his chances of getting goals. Let's hope that the remaining, I think, 8 or 9 games in the Premier League, he can put up some very good performances and get good goals. But for now, this is the reality of his game. He is just coming up, he is just putting up that good performances. We have seen glimpses of what he can do in the Club World Cup, and there was a limitation to that progression. But for now, we have seen that he is now back in line, back in track, and we expect to see more goals from him. Possibly he can get 20 goals in the English Premier League before the season ends, but we'll see what he can do and what he cannot do. But for me, I will not rate him or put him in the bracket of, Erling Haaland, Mbappe, and the rest for now until the end of the season, and he can be able to replicate this performance next season. Then we can begin to talk about putting him in that bracket of top strikers of the world. But for now, I believe this guy is progressing very well. He's progressing very well, and for his age, he's still very young, and he is moving in this direction. This is very wonderful from him. Massive performance, and we pray that he continues this way because we want to have a top striker, a top striker in our team to ensure that we are able to produce goals, go in, go out every game, and a striker who can produce us 20 plus, 30 plus goals in every season. That is what we need. We are a top team and we need such a striker. This reminds me of since Diego Costa left, we've not really had a striker as prolific as Joao Pedro. We have been having it very rough with strikers, but thank God for Joao Pedro. We hope to see him perform well. We hope to see him, put up these performances game in, game out from this moment onward, and that will be wonderful from him. What do you think? What do you think about the performance of Joao Pedro? Is he in that level for you? Is Joao Pedro in that level or he's not yet there? What do you think?